Well, hello, and welcome back to the tower. So, if you haven't, we got the update today, and I did kind of collect the milestones already, but let's kind of go through what's in the update. So, now we can at least see the patch notes in the news, so we'll go over this. So, version 24, tier 16 and beyond. So, there's a bot revamp. Bots have been redesigned, so the timing basically they fixed it so they will no longer do the frame drift like the ultimate weapons. There's a new stat frequency has been so the stat frequency has turned to cooldown, and then you can also buy duration now. Now, what am I going to spend my medals on? I don't know. I'm assuming we need to get Golden Bot duration. Is this a buff to Golden Bot? No. This is actually a huge nerf to Golden Bot as far as I can tell. Golden Boy used to be, I don't know how long he used to last, but he used to flicker on and off every 25 seconds. We'll look at that, and let me just go through the notes. But I think this is a nerf. From what I've seen in the chat, this is a nerf. Obviously, I'm assuming once you do the labs and you invest the medals and all that stuff, it's no longer a nerf. But for now, it's a nerf. So Golden Bot has duration. Amp Bot has duration. Thunderbot has linger percent. A portion of the stun effect will remain for 3 seconds, even after the Thunderbot's duration. Flamebot has damage reduction percent. Enemies burned by the Flamebot will have a portion of their damage reduced. There's labs for Golden Bot increased duration. Ampy has increased duration. Thunderbot has increased linger. Flamebot has the burn stack. It allows for successive hits to stack the burn effect. Additionally, the renamed cooldown lab was frequency for all 4 bots have been given 5 additional levels. So you have even more frequency to research. Other. Flame Bot now burns the enemy. Every second a burned enemy takes damage equal to Flame Bot's initial hit. Burn stacks allowed with the lab makes the burn ticks faster per stack. For an example, a stack of 4 will make the enemy take a burn hit every quarter of a second. Thunderbot is now 50% effective against bosses and elites. Linger percentage is also 50% against bosses and elites. I'm assuming that's to make Thunderbot just more appealing in general. Ultimate weapon improvements. So they overhauled all the ultimate weapons. This basically, anything we were talking about, like literally, oh, this is what you should work on, just pick that up, throw that out the door. So Chain Lightning had its damage scaling chain. CL Plus has been reworked. It's capped at, like, I'm not in CL Plus land, so I don't know what that means, but it's capped after 100 hits on a given enemy. Damage module substats have had their scaling changed for Chain Lightning. I think that's in a good way. I don't know. Smart Missiles actually caught a nerf. The damage scaling is nerfed. There's new levels to cooldown and quantity to kind of make up for it. But overall, Smart Missiles got a nerf unless you're really at the top end and you have enough stones to then just... If you have enough stones to invest in your Smart Missiles, it becomes a buff. But you have to... But for everybody else, it's a nerf. So I'm lucky I don't have Smart Missile. Death Wave. Coin bonus is applied to all enemies hit rather than only enemies killed. This is basically an attempt to kill Devo. And the animation is reworked to be more performant. Yeah, that's not the only thing the animation has been reworked. So I did do a run before this just to see kind of how things changed. And yes, the animation was reworked, but it's not only more performant, it also, like, your Death Wave is just weaker. Because Death Wave is now super fast, it's more like a flash than a wave like it was before. It hits fewer things. Like, I didn't cap my health like I usually do. So I had a 5,000 tier 10 farm wave that I stopped just before making this video, and my Death Wave did not cap my health. So you're going to have to work on your Death Wave more. I do believe this makes quantity on Death Wave more important because there is still that delay on the quantity. I'll try and show you Death Wave, but it's weird. Chrono Field has new levels added to slow percent. So I think you can get slow up to 75%, and then plus you get it on your module, and it gets up to plus 90%. So that is very slow. And it means that I'm in even more trouble. I'm wondering if I'm even going to be able to hang in Champion League after all this. Chronofield CF Plus is reworked, which it used to be that it added another ring of Chronofield somewhere. Now this is ridiculous. So now what it does is it turns your tower into a toilet. And what do I mean by that is that CF Plus, instead of having them slowly come towards you, now they slowly come towards you in a spiral. So they spiral around you, and the higher your CF Plus is, the slower the spiral. So if you at really high levels of CF Plus, it looks like they're basically your tower. Your CF looks like a toilet bowl. Golden Tower, new levels added to duration and bonus. I didn't see that coming. Golden Tower Plus now only counts enemies that spawn during the current activation. This is again another nerf towards Devo. They're trying to get rid of Devo. The only thing I would say is if they really want to get rid of it, they now need to change it so anything Death Wave hits and is killed, you get that health bonus. If they do that, then yeah, Devo will be dead. Poison Swamp, new levels added to duration. Black Hole, new levels added to duration. Black Hole Plus was reworked. From what I saw in the chat, it wasn't popular. Spotlight, new levels to angle and quantity. Yes, you can now have a 4 spotlight. 4 spotlight. It goes from, when you get to that, it goes from spotlight to floodlight. And not only that, the SL Plus is now based off your damage per meter. So if you get to SL Plus, it's no longer extra range. It's now extra DPM, gives extra multiplier or something. So you will want to stack DPM for Spotlight. Labs. Chain Thunder. Every 1% of enemy health removed by Chain Lightning reduces the damage by 10%. Lightning Amplifier. Scatter. Each Chain Lightning hit on a scatter will amplify the damage for the next Chain Lightning hit on the same target. Swamp Rend. When basic enemies are hurt by the Poison Swamp, that damage is boosted by a percentage of the enemy's current Rend armor multiplier. Swamp Rend. Additional enemies. Increases the type of enemies that are impacted by Swamp Rend. Basically a buff to Chain Lightning, which is good because I have it, and a buff to Poison Swamp, which I don't think was a highly rated ultimate weapon. I don't know if it is now, but obviously they're trying to rebalance things so all the ultimate weapons are useful. Spawn rate and FPS. So they basically moved it so your FPS, like if you lag in the game can recover. Basically, the very technical thing what they did is there's 2 types of ways you can compute things that happen in a game. One way is called delta time. Delta time is the time between frames. And what happens is if you start to lag, your delta time can get all screwed up and it can get kind of really... There's a whole thing about how delta time can screw up like that. The alternative is there's a fixed computation. Every 200 milliseconds, regardless of what the frame rate is doing, it can do a computation. So what that means is this all got moved to the fixed 200 millisecond compute, so therefore it has your FPS no longer has any impact on your gameplay. And yes, there's tier 16, 17, and 18. I can't do any of those yet, so we won't see them. And they have new battle conditions, and we will look at battle conditions in a moment. And we have new labs. We have auto perk priority. We'll talk about that. We have perk ban. So we have perk ban. We have improved module shatter returns. So yeah, we will talk about that in a minute because now I'm starting to save up my module shatters. And we have wall regen for 20 more levels. So now you can get 300% base regen, which I just finished that lab. So, well, it's back on the table, boys. Tournaments. Increased damage and health scaling for tournaments. Not surprised. New battle conditions are possible during tournaments. We will talk about those. Champion tournaments start with boss per wave battle condition max, so we just always have the boss now. Champion tournaments have been given additional battle conditions, module drop rate for the bosses and champion tournaments. Now the cooldown of 20 waves. So basically you do the tournament for the tournament, you don't do the tournament to farm it, which is the way it should have always been. And finally, second tournament tickets are fixed again, maybe. We'll see. I don't have a lot of faith in that because they've broken, fixed it, broken, fixed it, broken, fixed it, broken, fixed it so many times. I don't know which one it is. Unfortunately, there are 2 new perks, Cash and Defense Absolute, both of which you will just immediately want to ban. They're useless. Change Chrono Field perk from extra range to 5 extra seconds. I don't know why that was done, but it is what it is. Maybe it's because of CF+. Added a Claim All Milestones button. All bonus multiple. Oh, wait, well, so I will take that back. That perk is relevant in certain scenarios. We will get to those, but not for most farming unless you're farming probably tier 16 and beyond, which would be kind of surprising if you can do that right out of the patch. All bonus values will now use an X multiplier rather than percentage, so I'm hoping that's more straightforward. Mass was not being correctly boosted during runs, so basically mass only works in tier 16 or higher, or at very high waves. Extra long boss wave cooldown removed. Recovery package after boss wave will work on all boss waves correctly now. This theoretically means you can always get a package every wave in Champion League. Wave skip now works on all waves, including the XXX9 wave. Wave skipping a boss will roll for modules and reroll. So I think the whole thing with wave skip is with elites now, we no longer have to worry about whether or not you skip the boss. So you could get ridiculously lucky and skip the bosses like you could skip wave 10, 20, 30 and get much further than you would have. If it's a 33% chance to skip, you just add an exponent to that. So if you do it twice, it might be 37. It doesn't matter. We'll go with 33. That's about a 10% chance of happening. I'll take it back. It's a 1 out of 9, and then 3 times it's 1 out of 27. So you can extrapolate that, and somebody could get ridiculously lucky and wave skip like 5 bosses in a row or something like that. But that doesn't matter as much now because that's fine. You can skip all the bosses. The elites are going to kill you. Fixed coin calculation stat giving negative values. Well, that's good. Coin calculation should never be negative. We're not using guild toss here. Event booster has 250 gems added, but that will only go for the next event. So I'm assuming the paid boost. You now get double the medals plus 250 gems. The max tier for the cardless mission has been capped at tier 14. That's good and that's bad. That's great because that means if I get to tier 17 or tier 18, I don't have to worry about it going higher. That's terrible because it's tier 14 and I have no idea how hard tier 14 is. Change how the patch notes are displayed to users now they're in the mail. Obviously, that's why we're reading this. Mission to reach X waves on a tier will now auto-update if you have a run in progress, so that's nice. All overheal on both tower and wall are condensed to 1 bar, so you no longer have bars that are multiple colors. It's all one, like, cyan-ish color, I think. But whatever it is, it's just 1 bar, 1 color. I don't know. I didn't get far enough in my run to see if it actually changed as you took damage, so that's something. Wall fortification will use the wall regen lab to impact the speed of regeneration. I didn't know it wasn't doing that before. I assumed that wall fortification was already using that lab. That's more important now because even if wall fort was going at 100% before, you likely had your wall regen already at 100%, so it was a wash. But now that you can get it to 300%, it's really important that it does use that other 300%. So that covers that. Yes, that was a mouthful. So first, let's look at, I did actually do one of the researches, so we will look at the perks. So I have the auto pick. And I actually already sorted this, so I put this one first. Then the perk wave, then golden tower, black hole, then 1 extra death wave, and then the coin bonuses. Then after coin bonuses, it's just game speed, things that should only appear once. Once all the onces are done, and technically this is a twice, because this will be this, and then it'll be either smart missiles, or it'll be swamp radius, which is fine. And then it'll be 2 orbs, 3 bounce shots, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And these are all one-offs. I could technically move that up, but I don't feel like it right now. And these are the 4 that I have banned. So we need to ban 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so to ban everything, we have to ban all the trade-off labs, and we have to have the garbage like extra interest and absolute defense. That's fine. Because there's one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9. There's 9 basically trash trade-off labs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because the 13 times cash per wave. That's not a big deal. You just get all the cash at the end of the wave. It's fine. I mean, I don't know if it's a great one. Excuse me. I'll say this. I don't know if this is better than the other ones. But the fact is, it's not super negative like ranged enemies attack. The distance is reduced, but they do 3 times the damage. You know, it's better than those. Now, enemy damage and tower damage, I don't know if that's worth it now. I used to use that one all the time until I became more offense orientated, and I was like, I don't think I need this anymore. I don't know that that's relevant anymore. But to me, all these other ones, like the bosses having 8x health, the tower. I think in certain scenarios this one might be worth it, the regen, but the max health, I'm just not there yet. Maybe the boss health and the boss speed is okay. That might actually be okay. I don't really know which ones are definitely like terrible. I just try to avoid all of them. But anyways, you can let me know in the comments. That's what they're there for. I definitely didn't want to get the less regen and health. And the less speed and more damage. Yeah, that's the less speed. That's what Chrono Field's for. These 2, in my opinion, are terrible. If there's one that I'm missing that is actually like, I think this one's okay. We probably wouldn't need to ban that one. But either way, there's a lot of trade-off ones that just, yeah. I think some people actually do get this one, but I don't know why. Anyways, that's auto pick. We gotta go and work on more bans and stuff first. Honestly, I kind of wish it had another ban. And now we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I got almost 1,600 waves and I finished in 16th place. I got the worst bracket ever. I don't know if that's a one-off thing. And let's look at the new battle condition, because it is here. Tanks ultimate. Tanks behave like bosses, but stop moving once inside tower range. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the tank is going to do. What does that mean? Because if you behave like a boss, you just have a lot of health. So that would just mean what? You're just going to hang out inside my tower range with a lot of health? Is that bad? I don't understand. But here's the real kicker. Ultimate weapon durations. We have no idea how high that goes. I've heard rumors that it's just 10 seconds. It's 10 levels. It'll go up 10 levels and just be 10 seconds. That is the killer. You know why that's the killer? Because guess who just got permanent Chrono Field? Did you guess me? You're very smart, because it was me. Now I need to have Chrono Field max plus X. So I have to get extra duration. I'm assuming at this point I just have to max Chrono Field's duration out. And also, yeah, isn't that lovely? So that is the one thing nobody's looking forward to. And again, we'll have to see how I do next week in the tournament because my last tournament was abysmal. And of course, here's the event. Like, this is mostly done. Oh, I get workshop upgrades. That's fine. We can do that real quick. And obviously, I don't have enough to buy anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What's that put me at? 4,100. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna come. That's gonna start being really hard to do soon. Okay. So that's done. Let's flip this back to 1. So yeah, I'm really not sure how that's gonna work out. And so now it's ultimate weapons. Now this doesn't tell you what the max is, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But yeah. Yep. Here's Chain Lightning. And then there's Death Wave, and I'm wondering if I'm going to need an extra Death Wave. And then there's Chrono Field, and I need to increase the duration and increase the speed reduction. That's probably my new priority, is just fixing Chrono Field, because that's going to be the make it or break it. And of course, Spotlight has the potential for 4 beams. 4 beams is actually great too, because it means you always have 2 beams opposite each other, which means you'll always have both beams hitting your black hole, instead of sometimes one beam sweeps through and then the next beam does not quite sweep through to get to it in time. So now you'll always have the 2 spotlights and they'll sweep through your black holes. So yes, and this does mean that likely I will not be purchasing smart missiles anytime soon. At the very least, I have to refix my Chrono Field, and then I have to work on my econ again. And I also have more levels I can get for Black Hole. Obviously, we'll be waiting for all that when we get the actual notes, the actual upgraded calculator. And of course, the final thing, the eternal thing, is research. So my research is kind of scuffed right now. This is a long story. I'd rather not get into it. Basically, I accidentally did this one too long, and then I meant to do this for 8 hours, and I did it for 24, and then I had to move it around, and here we are. At least I got everybody lined back up for the most part, and then I can fix them. But are you seeing a problem here? Because I'm seeing it. Well, the good news is damage level 100 is still the max, so I'm almost done with damage. That will free up a spot. But this spot is going to get consumed. Yes. Now, I did do 1 rank of the auto pick already, just so I could show you how it works. But see, the thing is, there's no point for me working on auto pick when I still need to ban. Because I need to get the bans first. And once I have the bans in place, then we can start working on the auto pick ranking. Really don't think I need anything beyond, I don't know, we'll have to look after this. Here are your extra bot labs, the linger duration. Now duration, of course, you can always do duration, so that's a safe one. And then we have module shard cards. I have yet to unlock the additional shards, and you know what that means? I also need to start saving up modules. So, yep. But this is the update. I wanted to give you an update on the update because it's a big update. So, once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And as always, thank you again. And I hope you have a great day.